Hello friends, it's Alexis and welcome to my dark romance reading vlog. I am so excited to be starting this vlog today. Dark romance is definitely a genre that I want to explore more of. I've read a few in the past, but a goal of mine in 2024 was to go out of my comfort zone and try to read more of it. So that's exactly what we're doing in this video, trying to complete my goal before the end of the year. I feel like I've selected the 3 most perfect dark romances for this purpose. These are the ones that I see recommended everywhere, and I think it's finally time for me to see what all of the hype is about. So first up on our TBR is going to be Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I feel like if you are online in the book community at all, you've heard of this book. I truly feel like I see it recommended everywhere, especially on Book Talk, and I'm actually really excited going into this one. I feel like this is one I could potentially like. A lot of people who I follow who have similar taste in books as me have enjoyed this one, so I have high hopes for it. And as an added bonus, I have my lovely friend Sash from Sash Reads buddy reading with me. I am so excited to read this one with her and to share my unhinged thoughts about the book. I'm not going to give full synopses for these books because I feel like they're pretty well known and I already do know a lot about them. I want to go in as blind as possible. So I think this one is about a woman named Adeline, and I'm pretty sure this is a romance about her and her stalker. And of course, everybody knows about the infamous gun scene. Next up on the TBR, and I cannot believe I'm going to be reading this publicly on the internet, it's Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Yeah, this is another one. I feel like it really blew up online, and all I know is it's about one woman who gets involved with this mafia. I think they're called the Den of Vipers, and I'm pretty sure she gets with all of them. And the super famous scene from this one is the knife scene, so can't wait to get to it. And last up, the book that I feel like I have the best chance of actually enjoying is going to be Credence by Penelope Douglas. This will be my 3rd book by this author, but this one is definitely going to be the most taboo of her books that I've read. So the first one I read was Punk 57, I think is what it's called, and that's a bully romance. And then I also read Birthday Girl, which right now is my favorite, and that one's an age gap romance. So if you don't know, the whole premise of Credence is it's about a young woman who goes to live with her estranged uncle and her 2 male cousins, and you guessed it, once again, she gets with all of them. I'm really hoping that she's not actually blood related to these people, because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stomach if that's the case and this is her actual uncle. I have high hopes for this one because I've read the author's writing in the past. I know I enjoy her writing and I feel like I've heard good things about this one. One last thing I wanted to mention before we get into the vlog is this is going to be spoiler filled. I'm not going to give away everything about that book, but I feel like with books like this, we really have to talk about specifics in these unhinged scenes. So I will put time markers in the video in case you want to skip where I talk about one book, but watch the other 2 books. All right, I think that's it for now, and we're going to go start our first book, Haunting Adeline. It's later now and I'm really tired, so this is gonna be my last update for the night, and I'm gonna go wash my makeup off and get into bed. My mascara is like crumbling in my eye, so if it looks weird, it's because I've probably rubbed like all of it off already. But wanted to update you because I have made it to 11% of the book, chapter 6. According to this, it says I'm on page 69. I don't know how accurate that is. You know, it's still early on. Nothing has really happened yet. I was sort of expecting with this one to just like get right into it, but there's a lot more setting up than I was expecting. So I was correct. It is about a woman named Adeline, and she actually inherits, hello Kit, she actually inherits her grandmother's house who has passed away, and it's like this big creepy gothic mansion. Sounds super cool. So we're following her as she's getting it all set up, and we also find out she's an author. So far we've only gotten the tiniest bit of like stalker interactions. It's really just her finding roses on her doorstep and in her kitchen, which is creepy. I was just kind of expecting it to jump like into it a lot faster after that prologue. So far, it's reading a little bit more like a mystery thriller, actually, because upon moving into this house, Adeline actually finds her great-grandmother, I think, her diaries, and we find that her great-grandmother had a stalker too, and really not an aspect that I was expecting out of the book. I am very interested to see where that goes. I don't think there's any way that it could be the same stalker, right? Like, this isn't supernatural, unless it is. That would be a fun twist. Only other thing that I just had to laugh about, in chapter 5, there is the dumbest line I have ever read. I highlighted it. Okay, so in chapter 5, there's a knock at her door, and she says that her heart skips a beat whenever she hears a noise in the manor. And direct quote, "Surely that can't be healthy. Maybe I'll eat some Cheerios. They say those are good for the heart, right?" What? Excuse me? That's supposed to be a joke? Because surely that could not have been a serious line. So yeah, it's lines like those where the writing is just not great so far. I'm hoping it gets better, but it was a little painful to read those 70 pages. I'm just really not digging this author's writing. It's not very good. It's making me nervous, but I think once we actually meet the stalker, we'll be more into it. So yeah. Tomorrow will be a week, so thought it was a good time to get back into this one, and it is time to finally make some more progress on Haunting Adeline. I have continued reading, but it's been very slow going. I've really only been reading on my Kindle like when I go to bed, and then it's like a few pages before I fall asleep. So I did switch over and get the audiobook today, thanks to the recommendation from Sash. She said that the narrators were really, really good, and I feel like my issues I was having with the writing maybe wouldn't be so obvious if I was listening to the audiobook rather than staring at the words on the page and like picking out what I didn't like. I'm just picky, okay? I know I shouldn't have gone into this expecting like brilliant, beautiful masterpiece writing, but it's also just like worse than I was expecting. I'm just waiting and excited to get more into the romancy part because I have heard that this guy is so hot that all of his messed up behavior is totally excusable. So I'm gonna just try and enjoy it. I'm gonna try to have a good time. So far, I do agree. I do like the audiobook more. I do like the male narrator's voice. There was a scene where Adeline took a random guy home from the bar and they were like getting into it and she moaned a little bit, and they like did that in the audiobook, and like I wasn't expecting this to be the dramatized version. I'm not a big fan of those kinds of audiobooks, so I'm just hoping we don't get too much more moaning and those kinds of noises. But I have a pretty relaxing day today. It's Sunday. I'll probably continue with the audiobook because I'm thinking I'm gonna start setting up my TBR game for January. This will be your little sneak peek into it. I know TBR games are like really overdone, but I know people do enjoy watching them still. Like I really enjoy watching them. I just didn't know like if I was the only one. I definitely wanted to do something a little different than everyone else. As much as I love watching spinner wheels and TBR jars, I knew that I wanted to do something a bit different, a bit more challenging. So I don't want to give too much away, but it does involve all of these paper balloons, and I am going to have to write prompts on all of these. Well, not all of these. I think I ordered a pack of like 300. So yeah, there's no way I'll be writing on every single one of these. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for reading prompts, let me know below, because I'm just gonna keep working on these and try and come up with as many as possible to have a really big variety. And then as for the book, I'm currently in chapter 10. I'm just waiting for more interactions between our two love interests. Right now, he is still just stalking her. They haven't actually talked. He did start texting her from an unknown number, and he made his first kill for her. So she's definitely feeling really scared right now. But I just think it's so funny that the way she's writing him is like, yeah, he's a stalker, but he's not that bad, right? Because the guy that he killed was a bad man. He like actively hunts down sex traffickers and like kills them and rescues the people who were being held captive. Like, she's doing everything she can to make him a good guy, and he just has this one tiny little flaw that like, he's a little obsessed with her, but like, why wouldn't you want a man obsessed with you? Like, it's just so funny, and I'm really trying to like look at it that way, that like, this is fun, this is goofy, and not judge it too harshly. So I think that's all for now. I just hit the 100 page mark being in chapter 10, so I'm thinking like maybe around 200 I'll update you again. So I guess I'll talk to you later. Me and Milo are here to tell you about the progress we have made on Haunting Adeline. Wow, I've actually made it to chapter 26. I've been listening on and off all day, like I told you was the plan. I unfortunately did not finish it, but we only have 2 hours, 46 minutes left, so I'll definitely be finishing that tomorrow morning. I'm just not enjoying my time with this one. Yeah, the writing is so bad. The word choice in the sex scenes is terrible. Since we last spoke, they have finally interacted face to face, which is what I was waiting for. I'm still so surprised that it takes so much of the book for them to actually interact. Like, I don't know. The beginning was very slow and boring, which is not what I was expecting going in. Our main character, she is so stupid. I just can't get over how stupid she is. So basically one night she's sick of him watching her through her windows, and because he's texted her at this point, she has his number. So she texts him, I don't even remember what she says, but basically confronting him, telling him to leave her alone, and he does not take well to this. Like, I get that the author's trying to play up that he's this big scary man and nothing can stop him, not even the cops, but like, girl, what are you doing? So like, it is talked about that she has called the police before. They weren't taking her seriously, and then when they did take her seriously, all of the police records and like files are getting deleted by him, because of course he's like super powerful and smart and has all these contacts and he can do whatever, so of course. But like, even still, like, I don't know, move, go stay somewhere else where he doesn't know where you are, get a new phone, like just get a security system. I don't know. And then like, I think her friend even mentions like, oh, I can get you a bodyguard, I have connections. And right away she's like, no, I don't want to be followed around by a man. I can take care of myself. But it's like, what? It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. So yeah, he breaks into her house and they get into some stuff. I got the infamous gun scene, and like, I don't know, I was just expecting more, I guess. Like, I'm not seeing what the big deal with this book is. Like, nothing is shocking to me. Maybe I'm just desensitized and it's me. Right now, the only thing that's getting me is the terrible writing and the very interesting word choice. My favorite is, I don't think the word squelch should be used in a sex scene, but maybe that's just me. So then after they have their little moment with the gun, they basically become boyfriend-girlfriend. And that's what I mean by this is so stupid, because she's still denying it. She's still saying she hates him. She's still saying she's scared of him. But then she's like texting him as if they're dating. And there's a scene where like she was upset that he hadn't messaged her in a few days. And it's like, what do you mean? So I think the message of this book is, as long as the guy is hot, it doesn't matter how creepy he is. Now that we've made it to chapter 26, the other really annoying part to me is how insta-lovey it is. Because like, he keeps saying like, I'm gonna marry her, she's mine, she's gonna have my children. Also, why does he even want to be with Adeline? Like, what is so special about her? Being in her mind is really insufferable. I think she's really stupid. I think her friend Daya is really annoying, and all they do is go out and drink and talk about getting laid. But like, I'm not getting any personality from her. And then the last thing, I hate the pet names in this. I hate them so much. Like he's been calling her Mouse and she's calling him Kitty Cat. I gag every time. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm sorry, I'm really bashing this book and it sounds like I hate it, but I don't even think I do. I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's a whatever book. Like right now it's sitting at a 2.5 star rating, which is a fine whatever book. And like, I'm kind of bored. Does that make any sense? But like, I'm just sick of the sex scenes. Nothing like shocking is happening. But anyways, I think that's it for now, and I'm gonna go get into bed. So I'll talk to you in the morning when I pick this one back up. This book is gross. We just had our first real sex scene, and I think that was the grossest sex scene I've ever listened to. There wasn't even anything shocking about it. It was just so stupid. Plus the fact that they're doing this in like a public haunted house. How is nobody walking in on them? This is stupid. This is so dumb. I'm on chapter 30, an hour 48 minutes left. I can't wait to be done with this. So I finally finished Haunting Adeline. It took way longer than I was expecting it to. Honestly, I just couldn't listen to long stretches at a time. This morning, I couldn't do it. That writing. It is some of the worst writing I have ever read. I don't get how anybody is able to look past that to enjoy the story. Because how? Because what is even there to enjoy? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a 1-star rating. I don't get the appeal on this one. So the ending was rough. We talked about the mirror funhouse scene, which I'm just still not over. Like, why are we picking those words to describe a scene that's supposed to be sexy? And we use the most disgusting vocabulary we can possibly think of to describe these scenes. It just completely takes me out of the story. And there's just no way to enjoy this when it is this badly written. So after that, nothing really happened that was exciting. Like, she was really trying to turn it into a thriller at the last second because Adeline ends up getting kidnapped, which is so dumb. And then to like end it on a cliffhanger, like essentially ended mid-sentence so that you have to pick up the sequel, which I will not be doing. I'm good. I don't need to know what happens. I hope I never have to hear about this book ever again. So I thought the ending was really, really stupid. And then this whole time we're getting this like B-plot of the grandmother's diary entries, and we like don't even really get an answer at the end of this. Like I know this is a duology. I think it's only 2. If it's a longer series than that, why? So like, I get that not everything should have been answered in the first book, but at least that should have been answered. It wasn't planned out well. It didn't really make sense what was going on there, and it was unnecessary. I didn't need that. It, again, was trying to turn this book into a thriller when it didn't need to be, and I feel like it didn't do a great job at trying to be a thriller. So yeah, if you like this one, sorry to bash your favorite book, but I do not get it. So now that I'm done with that one, my plan is I'm heading out in just a minute to do some Christmas shopping, and I have the audiobook for Den of Vipers, but I'm honestly nervous to start it. After finishing Haunting Adeline, like, was this video a terrible idea? Is dark romance not for me? For the sake of time, I do think I have to start this right away. I don't think I can take a break between the books. So I'm going to try to go into it with no judgment, except I've heard bad things about this one. Of all the books on the list, I think this is the one I'm going to hate the most, which is really scary going into it now because of how much I ended up hating Haunting Adeline, and I thought I could possibly like that one. So wish me luck, and yeah, I'll talk to you later when I'm a little bit farther into Den of Vipers. On my way out the door, we're gonna do some Christmas shopping, so I wanted to check in real quick because I'm probably going to take some clips of me shopping. As for the book, I don't remember how far I am. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll check what chapter or like percentage of the audiobook I'm on. I'm so surprised to say I'm actually liking it, and like, what's wrong with me? Maybe it's just because Haunting Adeline was so bad that it really, really lowered my expectations, but yeah, here I am, kind of embarrassed to admit on the internet that I'm enjoying Den of Vipers, but I'm enjoying Den of Vipers. It's definitely not like a new favorite. It's sort of cringy, but like the spicy scenes, they're not that bad. I'm gonna continue listening while we're out and about, and yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit and let you know what I bought and how I'm liking the book. why. I've literally been working on my reading journal for like 8 hours and this book still isn't over. I still have 2.5 hours left. For what reason is this book this long? Okay, that's a little better. I just, you know, it was fine. I wasn't exactly enjoying it, but I wasn't hating it until it's still going. Why? There's no reason for this book to be this long. Okay, so what has happened in the last little bit? I got the infamous knife scene. That was just so silly. Like, if you're looking for a book to make you laugh at its ridiculousness, this is the book for you. And like I said, I'm not hating it. I'm just kind of like laughing at it. Like, I don't know. I think it's too ridiculous to be hot. It doesn't help that the men's accents in this are just... There is no way to listen to this audiobook and still find these men attractive. Like, I swear. I'll find a clip of Diesel saying little bird because, like, me and Dan literally just, like, say it to each other in that accent now because that's how bad it is in this book.
I grin. I knew you would, little bird. You were so brave. Thinking you can control me.
So, anyways, yeah. The knife scene. Wow. It's, you know... I say read this book to just be able to say that you have, because I don't know if I'll ever read more ridiculous scenes than this. There was also a really ridiculous scene of Garrett tattooing her while she was sitting on Diesel. So just, it's funny. It's a good time. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, and we finally just got a scene with all of them together, and that is a little weird to me because aren't two of these guys brothers? Like, it's already weird to me that you're sharing with your brother. Like, if they were all just friends, like, whatever, you do you. But, like, the fact that two of them are brothers, that's kind of weird to me. But, you know, not trying to yuck anybody's yum, I guess. So, yeah, we got the scene with everybody together. And in my opinion, that should have been the end. Like, as I was listening to that, I was totally expecting the next chapter to be, like, some sort of epilogue. And then, like, it kept going. And that's when I picked up my phone and realized I still have 2.5 hours. What could possibly need to happen to make this book this long? I am finally done with my journal. I think this video is gonna go up after the one you're currently watching, so make sure you look out for that. I'm so excited with how it turned out. I'll give you a little sneak peek to my cover page. I'm doing a coffee shop theme. Isn't it so cute? I drew a little cafe / bookstore. That took so much longer than I was expecting to film it. Other than that, don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna keep listening and hope that these 2.5 hours just speed by.
This is the end of Den of Vipers, a Podium audio production. If you enjoyed this audiobook, we would love for you to rate and review it. For more dark romances, check us out.
I did it. I'm free. In all seriousness, it wasn't terrible. Haunting Adeline was definitely worse. It was just so long. For what reason? Let me turn so we have a little bit better lighting. Why? Why was it that long? I just can't get over that. It was just so repetitive. Like, we get it. We didn't need that many scenes of them doing the same stuff. And then, like, at the end, they kind of threw in a little action-y bit. Roxy actually gets kidnapped. I don't know, that could have been earlier. That could have been left out completely. I don't think it added that much, like, oh wow, they saved her. Like, didn't we get other scenes of them doing similar things throughout the book? And then, oh my god, the ending, like the epilogue. That was so fucking stupid. Like, what? They kidnapped a judge so that he could marry her to all 4 of them. And the whole time, the judge is like, this isn't legal, you know. And they're like, well, it's legal because we say it's legal. And then the judge is like, fuck it, you guys are crazy, but at least you're happy, or some shit like that. Like, what? Truly one of the most ridiculous books I think I'll ever read in my entire life. That book was so unserious. What do you even rate something like this? Okay, so if Haunting Adeline was 1 star, this was better, but it wasn't good. 1.5 or 2. What do we think? I think we'll go with 1.5. I don't think it was good enough to be a 2-star. Like, maybe if it had been shorter, maybe then it could have been 2. I just really don't think that a smutty book ever needs to be that long. Like, 300 pages. Like, if you can't get your point across in 300 pages, what are you doing? Cut some stuff. 654 pages. The one good thing to come out of this counts towards my goal of reading books over 500 pages though, so, you know, at least we did that. Also, this thing has an average rating of 3.65 stars. Who is rating it that highly? Do you have anything else to say? I don't think so. Go into this one at your own discretion. If you're looking for a silly, goofy time and just want to read the most ridiculous sex scenes you will probably ever read in your entire life, this is the book for you. Okay, so the goal for today is going to be to finish Credence by Penelope Douglas. Currently, I am at the 25% mark, and I haven't really talked to you about it yet, so I thought we'd do that now before I get any further. So in this one, we're following our main character named Tiernan, which... what a weird name, but she is staying with her uncle and her 2 male cousins. At this point, she's been there a little bit. She's kind of learning the rules. They live sort of in the middle of nowhere. Like, he has this big plot of land surrounded by trees. I think they're sort of a little bit on like a mountaintop because he keeps warning her that once it snows for the season, they're usually stuck up there until the snow melts. Like, they can't go into town for anything. So I'm sure we'll get there eventually, but right now I think it's still taking place in the summertime months. So I was sort of waiting to talk to you until we met all 3 of the men in this story, and it took a long time to get to the 3rd one. So of course, in the beginning we meet Jake, and this is her sort of uncle. She never really knew him growing up, and he isn't like blood related to her. He was her father's stepbrother, so you know, that makes it a little more okay when we get into things later. Still weird, but at least they're not actually related. So we have Jake, and he's kind of bossy. I'm not totally loving him right now. He's like, I know he's sort of her parental figure and she's staying in his house, but he has a lot of rules and he just tells her what to do all the time. And like, he won't let her help out around like the land. Like, she's offering to help. He's like, no, you stay in the kitchen and you cook. And it's just icky to me. And then the other part of it is Tiernan is like not shy about how attracted to Jake she is. Like every time there's a scene with him, she has to like mention that she finds him attractive, or like he's shirtless, or this or that about him. And like, I have a feeling I'm not gonna like that aspect of the book. I just can't get over. It's just a little icky. He just seems too old for her. She's only 17 in this, which I feel like they're gonna make her wait until she turns 18 before anything happens. But like, it's still gross for me. I guess I'm just not really a fan of big age gap romances. But other than that, we have her cousin Noah, who again, not actually blood related, and I like Noah. I could get behind if this was just a Tiernan Noah romance. Like he's cute. He's been very sweet so far. He's been the most welcoming of everybody. He's not really bossing her around. He's just kind of helping her out. He's taken her into town a few times. He's showing her around on the land, and he's a little flirty. So I could definitely see that we're setting up for something to happen there. And we have finally just met her older cousin, Caleb, and I was waiting because they kept making very mysterious references to him. Nobody was really telling her a lot about him, and she's been here for a little while now, and like nobody's introduced them, and she's never seen him around. So the scene where they meet, it just really changed my opinion of this book, and I'm not having a good time anymore. It was just gross. So it's in the middle of the night, and she's like doing laundry or something, and he comes home after hunting. Like, he literally has like a dead deer on his shoulder, and he sees her, and he right away just basically assaults her. Like, she is saying no, and he's just like keeps going and was about to rape her until Noah walked in and stopped it. And then like, as an excuse for his behavior, Noah's like, yeah, he has selective mutism. He hasn't talked since he's 4. And it's like, okay, but he can hear, right? He could hear her saying no multiple times, telling him to stop. They haven't even been introduced, and he just walks up and starts attacking her like that. I'm uncomfy. So I'm a little nervous to continue because I do know where the story goes, and I'm just like over here wishing that it was just a normal romance like Tiernan and Noah. I would be happy with, but now we got these 2 weirdos in there too. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going now, and I'll let you know when the next thing happens. Okay, I have now made it to the 50% mark. Hello? To the 50% mark. Thoughts? I'm just so conflicted because the spicy scenes are good. We haven't like gotten anything explicit yet. We had a cute flirty shower scene with Noah, which it was clothes on. It was very innocent, but like, it was so cute. It was so cute. I just want her to be with Noah. And then we got a makeout scene with Jake, and tell me why I was into it. Tell me why it was hot. But every time we're not getting like an intimate scene with the guys, they open their mouths and they are so dumb. Like, can you just shut up and like look hot and stop talking because you're stupid? Every time they talk, it's just like kind of insulting to women. Like, Noah is an asshole. Jake is so overprotective. It's like really taking the trope of like touch her and you die and like you're mine, nobody else can have you, to the extreme. And those are tropes I like in moderation. Like, I think touch her and you die can be really romantic, but they literally like threaten a guy with a gun and like he didn't even do anything. Like, she was just hanging out with this other guy, she was enjoying his company, and they showed up with guns and were like, get away from her. And it's like, it's that part that's really grossing me out and annoying me. And then every time Jake like tells her that she can't do something or that she has to listen to him, she's like, well, you're ours. And it's like, when done right, that stuff can be sweet and romantic, but it's too much in this book. So like, I'm still enjoying the spicy scenes, but like everything else is so cringy to me. I really hope these men just get it together and stop talking like idiots. I'm back. We just got home from a friend's holiday party. That is why the change in appearance, but I am ready to get back into reading Credence. Before we left, I think I just made it to the 75% mark. I was like ferociously clicking the pages trying to read as much as possible before we left, but I couldn't finish it. But pretty happy with getting to 75%. Kindle says I have about 2 hours left in the book, so I think that is definitely doable tonight. So a lot has happened since we last spoke. Like, where do I even begin? So yeah, I think the most extreme thing that had happened the last time we spoke at the 50% mark was she made out with her uncle. Yeah, everything has happened at this point. So there was an interaction with both of her cousins at once on a couch one night. It didn't go all the way because Jake walked in and stopped it, but like, I was not expecting both of them at the same time. It's like the same thing that happened in Den of Vipers. Like, you do you, but the fact that it's two brothers at once, that's just weird to me. Is it just me? So Jake walks in and stops it, but then he just can't control himself, so he ends up spanking her anyways, and she totally loves it. So then I think like the very next day or something, they do it multiple times, many a time, and then and then she just starts getting passed around to everybody. For a while, she is kind of just sticking with Jake, which is just weird because at this point, you've already done stuff with both of his sons, but I just don't understand the dynamic of this book. They're just totally cool sharing her amongst the three of them, which I guess is the point. It's just wild. So yeah, for a while she stuck with just Jake, and then Jake goes out of town. So then she gets with both brothers at once again. Really wasn't expecting that. Like, I knew she got with all three of them in this book, but I thought it was like separately, one at a time. Nope. Both Caleb and Noah at once, which I still hate Caleb. I'm still so grossed out that she's even interacting with him, anything with him. Like, he's not a good character. All of his behavior towards her so far has been like super inappropriate and like bordering on assault. Like, are we forgetting their very first interaction? So yeah, and then after their threesome, it kind of evolves into she really just wants to be with Caleb all the time, which of course. So we've gotten a bit into Caleb's backstory. We've got really a development into their relationship. I'm still hating it. Like, my enjoyment of the book has gone down big time now that Caleb is kind of the only love interest. Like, y'all know I wanted her to end up with Noah. I even would have settled for her ending up with Jake because, like, he was annoying and controlling, but he wasn't abusive. Caleb is downright abusive. Like, the last scene I just read, he locked her in her room like she's a child. How about when he held her down and he wrote slut in permanent marker on her forehead because she was messing around with other men in the house? Like, where did this all start? Are you new here? Did you forget that she got with your dad before she got with you? I don't know about the rest of this. I really hope she dumps Caleb and just doesn't end up with any of them. This is the book that feels the darkest to me because, like, it really is, I wouldn't even say a morally gray love interest. I would say just a downright bad love interest. He is not a good person. I don't see any good qualities in him. Like, Penelope Douglas is trying to make us sympathize with him, like learning his past, but that doesn't excuse the anger issues. So yeah, I'm gonna try and finish the last 25% of this really quick. I'm gonna make it all cozy in here and get changed, and I'll see you in a little bit, I think. I finished, but like, why? Why did we do that? Why is that the choice we made? I don't even want to talk or think about this book ever again. It was so bad. The last 25%, all about Caleb. Why did she choose to turn this into a toxic romance? For what reason? Like, why did she want to be with him when he continued to abuse her and act like a child and throw tantrums, and he broke all of the furniture she was working on, and he ran away without telling anybody where he was going to stay in the fishing cabin, and then she had to risk her life to go out and find him? It's so bad. This is so bad. And then don't even get me started on the ending. Really? Really? Just her love cured him or whatever? Because he was broken, right? With his selective mutism and not talking. He just needed her to be fixed and talk. I'm so mad at this book. This is so bad. This had great potential in the beginning. I don't know if you can hear Poe snoring, but that's what that noise is. What are you doing? Do you agree? Was it a terrible book? So, yeah. I don't really have more to say on it besides I'm mad, and that was really bad. The scenes with the men other than Caleb were good. Was it better than Den of Vipers? Like, yeah. Like, objectively, it was better. It was more well-written. So does that mean it should get a 2-star? I think I'm going to go 2 stars. Also, this is another almost 500-page book. I think it's like 470. But at least it didn't feel like it was dragging the way Den of Vipers did. At least the spicy scenes were all a little bit different, a little more unique. I hope this was at least fun for you to watch, because let me tell you, not enjoyable to film. Okay, I guess that's not completely true. I did have sort of a fun time reading some of these, but overall, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I thought I did for a minute in the beginning of this one, but yeah, it lost me. I guess I just need to stick to my cutesy rom-coms, and I think this is a sign that I'm just not a dark romance girly. Since I definitely don't want any recommendations of your favorite dark romances, because I think I'm done with them for a little while, go ahead and leave me an emoji if you would like to, and let's make it the gravestone emoji, because dark romance is dead to me. As always, friends, thank you so much for watching this one. I really hope you enjoyed it more than I did. I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.